What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Electric Relaxation. Check the vibe. How you like that, bro?
Dope.
Okay, okay. Well, without further ado, the hardest working man in show business, the man, the legend, the myth, Hendo. What's happening, good brother?
Not much. Less than highly favored.
How about that? I love that. Well said, well put. Well said, well put. Well, right now through here, I was watching the award shows the other day. I guess it was the VMAs. Nikki was all through there. I don't know if you got a chance to check it out.
I haven't watched the wars in 20, 30 years.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. I wasn't gonna watch it, but it wasn't nothing else on. So I was watching it, and one thing I realized with the hip hop genre, it was all females. So I thought
Hmm.
that was dope. You know what I mean? And I saw on social media where they like, oh, the females are taking over. They finally getting their just due. And I was thinking, hmm, females have always been around. We've always had queens of rap. Would you agree?
I agree.
So yeah, I mean, shout out to the Nickies, the Meg the Stallion, the Cardi B. But we gonna go back in time. You know what I mean? Talk about the people that started it, the ladies that started it. My bad. The queens. So I want to start with
Can I say
MC.
something first?
What's up?
Can I preface this first? If you don't mind.
Sure.
So coming up with this concept, this is kind of near and dear to my heart for me personally. My brother, he calls my phone sometimes and he says feminist and hangs up.
Mm.
Like he calls me a feminist because certain things I believe in, like equal rights, and if a man and woman cheat, it's equally as damaging to a relationship. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So, you know, um, I grew up in a house full of women, surrounded by a number of women, no male role models, just women. So I may respect women a little bit more than others. And this was very dear to me because I think that being a man that covers sports, and when I introduce or speak about women in sports, I get a lot of misogynistic views. Like I get a lot of dudes talking about, man, she a woman, she don't know what she's talking about, she this, she that. She know more than you do, but
Mm.
just because she's a woman, she's not getting her just due. And me having a daughter, especially being my first child, of course, being her father, I want her to be and experience everything in life that she can. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? I don't understand how a man, even if he has certain views, if you have a daughter, why you would try to stifle her growth. And I just think that even in the hip hop world, the women not gotten their view because it's something we're going to talk about later on. And if it wasn't for one in particular, it's some ones that followed her or that came along in the journey with her. They may not be there. And I'm gonna tell a story later on about this particular MC. And like I said, it's near and dear to my heart. I'm just glad that women can get their due. They've been dope since the beginning.
I concur. I concur. Well, you take the lead, bro.
Huh?
You take the lead. Man, I knew you grew up with all women in the household. Uh, I really did not know um to this extent how you felt about that, man. But I think it's dope, man.
I got to listen. My grandmother, may she rest in peace. Yo, my grandmother took care of her 4 kids. Her sister got killed when she was young. She took care of her 4 kids. She took care of me and Marie all by herself. So you got to think, you got a black woman in the 60s and 70s and 80s holding it down for generations. She worked all the time. She provided for us. She never asked for anything in return. And to see that kind of strength, that's why I work so hard. You know what I'm saying? That's where I get my work ethic from, my grandmother, because I saw her do it for everyone and never complained. She never asked for anything in return. She just took care of responsibility. So I have mad respect for women, and I know that they can do things that men can do and some things that men can't do because I think women have a higher tolerance pain. I think they have a larger threshold for endurance. Even if you watch like these reality TV shows, you know who wins most of the stuff? Especially in the endurance challenges, the women win them. For some reason, every time you had the biggest, strongest dudes up there, and they tap out, and the women just be sitting there like this. I'm gonna take a nap, yo. Done. So yeah, for me personally, being mother, grandmother, cousin, and daughter, you know what I'm saying? It's all women. I'm a girl dad. So
that's what's up, man. That's what's absolutely up. So, all right, who you want to start with, bro?
I mean, we can start. You want to start at the beginning? That's where we're supposed to start at, right?
Got you, got you, got
So I guess we'll start with MC Shy Rock.
you.
She was what I claim the first female MC. She started out as a breakdancer in the early 70s. Now, this is where things get mixed up in the hip hop world. The research I did said it started around 72. You know, we have hip hop turning 50 at 73.
Right.
But they said she came out and started doing her thing. Now, for me, you know, she was with the Funky Four. So they became the Funky Four plus one. And I think once she got into that group, that's when they started to become prominent in the hip hop world. You know what I mean? So shout out to her for being the first female MC of rap.
Oh, no doubt, man. I remember, you know, because we were young, extremely young back then, right? So my cousin Bobby, shout out to my cousin Bobby. Man, he used to listen to these or watch these shows or whatever on TV back in the day. I cannot think of the name of the actual show.
Right.
But they would have MCs that I wasn't familiar with. You know what I mean? I guess I really didn't start paying attention until like a Run DMC. But man, I used to hear him play all of these tapes and here I've heard her. That's what I'm getting to. First on one of those cassette tapes. I ain't know who she was until light years later. I don't know why I ain't asked him that. You know what I mean? But I thought it was dope having a female rap, you know, with these group of guys. Yeah, yeah. So shout out to her, man.
And I know we may have told this story before. Shout out to Deborah Harry of Blondie. Because I don't know if I know I've told you. I don't know if we've said this actually on tape, but shout out to Deborah Harry, Debbie Harry of Blondie. She actually, in I think it was 83 or 84, she did an appearance on Saturday Night Live. And she took her time slot out to have them come on and perform. So they were literally the first rap group to perform on live television or in front of a recorded studio audience. So shout out to her, shout out to them for actually giving them a chance. Because listen, Deborah Harry was big and prominent in the hip hop world back then, even though a lot of people don't know who she was, because she was actually real cool with Fab Five Freddy.
Oh, no doubt. And Basquiat, they ran around too. You know what I mean? Rich hip hop culture, man. I love it, bro. I love you sharing that information with us. You know what I mean?
So we try to do.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. So where we going next? We hitting Queens? No pun intended.
Yeah, we hitting Queen. This one. All right, so mostly everybody know who my favorite rapper of all time is.
Right? Nas.
Nah, son.
Wait a minute.
Isn't that what Nas stands for? Nah, son.
Jay-Z.
No. You know who my favorite rapper is. Because he's your favorite rapper, even though you don't want to admit it, but he's your favorite rapper. So my favorite rapper all time, Notorious B.I.G. I think he's the best to ever do it. But there's I guess thinking about it, sitting here thinking about it the last week, I'm gonna have to put an asterisk beside Biggie name. So he's gonna be one asterisk. You know what I mean? Because I do think that there is one MC out here that could have been on this level. And this is the only one we're gonna show, but GOAT status. Roxanne Shante.
Oh yeah.
Roxanne Shante. And I've dubbed her the GOAT. Just because the simple fact that even at 14 years old, she was out rhyming dudes.
Facts.
Dudes would come in with their notebooks and their rhymes written, and they sitting up there, and she just be like, all right, off the dome, she's spitting and killing people. They actually did what is it? Battle of the Best MCs.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Battle for World Supremacy, and she actually won. But they said, "Yo, we can't have a female win this title, so we'll just call you the best female rapper out there." And she's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yo, why do I have to be the best female rapper out there when there are no guys out here that can defeat me?"
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think that she just didn't get her due. And if she was actually in today's time, or even let's say the late 90s, and actually got that radio play and that promotion, I think she would be regarded as one of the greatest MCs of all time. And like I said earlier, she was the one that got Biz Markie, Big
Facts.
Daddy Kane. She was
Mm-hmm.
the one that got those guys on tour and actually got them noticed. So without her, we may not have some of the icons in the business.
Absolutely. And I just want to jump on this topic real quick. Not only that, Nas is on fire right now. And she is your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Favorite
Who?
rapper.
Did you say
Nas.
Nas, son? Why you keep
Nas.
saying Nas, son? Why do you keep saying Nas, son? I don't understand.
Ah,
It doesn't fit with the comments, but yeah.
man,
Nah.
shout out to Yolanda B. Thanks for joining us. Much
Let's
love.
break hot take. Brandon Bozell, Scotty Rivers.
What's happening, y'all? We appreciate
What's
y'all.
up, Dane?
Yeah, dang.
Rodney, what's going on?
B, what's happening, my guy? Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so yeah, give me your thoughts on Roxanne the GOAT, Shantae, 14-year-old MC out here destroying grown men lyrically.
Man, I love Roxanne, man. You know, she was so hot at the time. They had this other chick talk about she was the real Roxanne. I'm like, come on, man. You know what I mean? She had UTFO trying to come at her, and she
Right.
annihilated UTFO.
Dudes wasn't ready.
They were not ready.
And
And
she
hey,
freestyled it. And she freestyled it.
yes, yes. And the ill thing about it is she was in the same project building as the legendary Marley Marl.
Yeah.
He got on the nerves, told her to come up real quick while she was doing laundry.
Right.
Like, let me go up here real quick
Fact.
and hit him over the head with these bars. Man, I absolutely love Roxanne Shante.
And then went back and finished the laundry. Like
Right.
it was nothing.
Yes, yes. So yeah.
It's crazy.
So it is safe to say she is an icon, a super legend, and she is the queen of queens.
Facts.
Yes, yes, yeah. So who else we got, bro?
Okay. I guess moving down the timeline of Queens of Hip Hop. Next up is going to have to be, and we're starting to move into that era where most people are going to start recognizing these names, but we're going to get to Salt and Pepper. I dubbed them the dynamic duo. Now, they were originally known as Supernature.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that they got known is they made a diss track to the show called Showstopper.
Yeah.
And it kind of put them on the map. Now, for me, Salt and Pepper were iconic because they to me were one of the first entertainers. Because unbeknownst to a lot of people, they could sing.
Yes.
People didn't know that they could sing, but they came out with Push It, and from there it blew up and they went platinum. They also, once, kind of like with your man Jay-Z, whatever, once they got to a certain level, they started doing things their way. They started bringing on topics, especially around the AIDS pandemic. They made the song Let's Talk About Sex. And in hip hop, it wasn't widely or generally popular to bring on social issues or just worldly issues. And I think that they took it upon themselves to be more than just rappers and rap artists. They actually became icons of the game.
Yeah, I agree, man. And Salt and Pepper have such a rich culture, man. Not too long ago, I want to say maybe right around the pandemic, maybe 19, they came out with a movie, made for TV movie about their life, man. I learned a lot about that, man. Hey, they ran with Martin Lawrence, Kid and Play. Man, that was dope in itself. All of them working the same job. You talking about dreams and aspirations, bro. You know what I mean? I say that all the time, man. I feel like corporate America doesn't realize the talent they have around them. And I'm sure at the time, if it was Sears or Walmart, I mean Sears or what was the Wards,
Ward.
Montgomery Wards.
Montgomery Ward.
If it was one of them, I'm sure they had no idea the amount of talent they had there, man. But yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. The first time I heard Salt and Pepper, man, it was this song that they had called "I Take Your Man," and that's hands down one of my absolute favorite Salt and Pepper songs. Man, I want to shout out Spinderella 1 and 2.
Okay, because first would have told you it was only one, so we had to make sure that you gave proper shout out.
Yeah. But man, we love Salt and Pepper, man. They one of the best groups to ever do it. And man, they made hip hop proud. All right, so where we going next with it, bro?
All right, next up in the timeline of things, it has to be MC Lyte. I dub her conscious but strong. MC Lyte to me was one of the first females that had that voice. Like, I'm just like, oh, okay, she's spitting like a dude. And even back then, we thought kind of, we thought some things about her, but I didn't know that she was 16.
I didn't know she. Oh, my bad.
No, you good.
I didn't know she was that young either at the time.
And now looking back at it, looking at her, I'm like, that's why she looked like that. We just thought she was a little boy.
Yeah,
not a little boy, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It was just she was younger than she was. But to me, MC Lyte is prevalent in the rap game because in 1988, she became the first female to release a solo album, Light as a Rock.
How about that? Look at that.
First.
Wait a minute. Hold that thought for a minute. Let me see. Add the 2, carry the 1, divided by 6. Plus. Oh, y'all were the same age at that time.
Huh?
You and MC Lyte was the same age at that time. Wait a minute. Let me see. Carry the
in 88. We were not the same age, sir.
Plus 3.
She was actually 3 years. She was actually 3 years younger than you. So listen. Since apparently today is September Throw Shots Day. Two people on screen. One of us is younger than hip hop. One of us is older than hip hop, and I'm gonna leave it there. Right. Come on, Gramps, get your direction straight.
But anyway, man, back to Lyte, man. MC Lyte, first time I saw a Jetta. I was, man, Jettas was on fire because of Lyte, man.
This is
and her delivery, her flow, her cadence, man. How about this? True story. MC Lyte was the first cassette tape I ever brought of a female. Now I listened to the other ones. This is true. You know what I mean? WEBB or whatever we had back then, I would hit them like that. Right. But I literally went to the store and got Lyte's joint. Man, Lyte, man, bar for bar, she one of the best that ever did it, man. And man, one of my favorite Lyte songs is Georgie Porgy, man. And you're right, man. She had a lot of teachable moments, man. She talked about awareness, and I think that's dope, man. Matter of fact, man, everybody need to Google Lyte. And I love her voice.
Thanks.
She has one of the dopest hip-hop voices ever. We should think about doing something with that. Dope hip-hop voices.
Oh, man. You know what? She went to school with somebody. She went to school with another female MC. Can't remember who it was. I think it was Moni Love.
Really?
Her and Moni Love. Well, so what happened was Moni Love was over in England. She left England, came to America for a little bit. She went to high school. I think she only stayed for like 3 to 6 months or whatever. But when she went to high school, her and MC Lyte became best friends. Then she went back with her peoples back over to England. So just this whole just for some reason that New York vibe. Like it's a lot of people in here. Some people coming up, I believe, that we're going to speak about. They went to high school together, and they're a little bit more newer school than some of these ladies. But yo, a lot of these people went to the same places, bruh.
How about that? What you always say? What's that? 6 degrees of separation, something like
Six,
that.
6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
Things just somehow clicking a line to one another.
Yeah. Yeah. But let me ask you this, because I don't
Mhm.
know if it's just the hood facts, but what's MC's and mommy Milk?
Milk
Was
is
Milk?
get
Is
no
that
tea.
her brother? They used to say that back in the day. Or she? I know she's affiliated with them.
Nah, I don't think so. I just, you know how that's my brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know,
Got you.
yeah, I don't think that yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what we got next, bro?
Next up, I guess since Suge decided he wanted to show up in the stream,
What's
I
up,
guess
Suge?
I guess we're gonna take it over to the left coast
Okay.
and we're gonna bring up JJ Fad.
Ah.
And if you don't know by now, JJ Fad just has that one song, Supersonic.
Yes.
And it's classic, iconic. They use it all over. Even Eminem in his Rap God song, he put that in there. But the thing that I found out that was a little bit more surprising was, you know, they were the first female group signed to Eazy-E's Ruthless record, but they were the first group on that label to go gold. You know what I'm saying? Also in the hip hop game, outside of everybody, male and female, you know what I'm saying? They were one of the first rap groups to be considered for a Grammy.
So let me hold you there.
Right.
This is a dope, super dope episode. Cause already, one, we talked about the first female to ever do it, be on Saturday Night Live.
Facts.
We already talked about the very first female to make a record, an album, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're talking about the first female group to go gold.
Well, go gold on that record label.
How dope is that, though?
But that's not it, though. It's real dope, but that's not it. That's not it. They were the first group. JJ Fad. Y'all can look this up. It, like, to me, it blew my mind because, you know, you think about all the dope groups and dope acts. I know we didn't get our just due back in the 80s, early 90s, but JJ Fad was the first group, male or female, to go platinum on the West Coast. Male or female, first group on the West Coast to hit a platinum album.
So you're saying before NWA, because we know they went through the roof. You had Ice-T. Quick. Come on now.
What's his face? He talked with, he always got that same beat. He's slow. He came out with, like, he was like the West Coast version of Luke.
Oh, yeah, I can't think his name.
I can't
who you're talking about.
But yes, with all of those artists, JJ Fad, the females were the first ones to go platinum on the West Coast.
So you're debunking the theory, right, that females aren't instrumental in the hip hop culture. They always have been, and they always will be. You know what I mean? Cha Cha Cha, Dame. Yeah, that was my joint too. MC Light, Cha Cha Cha, man. Once we done, man, please Google these artists. Man, we come from a rich culture, man. I'm so happy that Hendo is bringing all this to our attention. So what we got next, my guy?
I guess it's all hail the queen. Next up, and all of these, like, listen, the MC Lights, JJ Fads. We're not gonna really talk too much about her, but also to bring in Yo Yo, all of these, and next one up, Queen Latifah, all came in around the same time, 87, 88, 89. Like, at the time, we didn't realize it, but we brought together a dope collection of female MCs that went on to do other things. MC Light is receiving awards for her activism, her charity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Queen Latifah's doing big things. Yo-Yo's an activist as well. Like all of these things that are done outside of rap, people don't know about because nobody really follows female MCs like that. And I think today it's they're being hurt by a certain demographic. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk about it later with I think the last two that we're gonna talk about and how they kind of change the culture for hip hop and for females in general. But we're gonna take it to Queen Latifah. I mean, style, grace.
Mm.
I mean, listen, she's the queen. It's in her name, Queen Latifah. And listen, Queen Latifah's had success in R&B, jazz,
Mm-hmm.
hip hop. Like she just isn't boxed in by one genre. And that's why I think she transcends music. And then it also transferred over to film. Last week we just did the movies
Mm-hmm.
and we talked about Set It Off. Just her, just the roles that she's done. And she's played a myriad of roles
Mm-hmm.
throughout Hollywood. She's had a sitcom on TV. She's one of the greatest female MCs of all time. Like when she hit that joint back in the day, because you know back in the day we had the NWA and all that other stuff, and when they hit you with that, who you calling the UNITY? Like, yo, then you had the saxophone playing. I'm like, but nothing on this earth will ever outdo Ladies First.
How about that?
I'm
No
sorry.
doubt.
To me, one of the greatest tracks of all time.
I concur. I concur. Man, I want to piggyback, but I want to backpedal a little bit on her show, Living Single. Man, I was binge watching the reruns, bro. It's on. I
I've
think,
never watched the show.
man, you gotta check it out. Cause to be honest, and they'll never say it, but I'm gonna say it. Living Single, birth friends. So
It didn't birth friends. They stole the concept. They stole the whole concept and just moved it over and made a TV show about it. So you ain't gotta tiptoe around it. They did that and they know
how,
it.
how about that? All hail the queen, man. Queen Latifah, we love you, man. From all the movies you've done, all of the music, all of the people you put on and continue to put on. Man, shout outs to the queen, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know we talk about it, and I talk about it all the time. But man, I loved her Set It Off. One of my
Yes.
favorite movies ever. I mean, she literally stole she was the star. I keep saying this to you. She should have got an award for that. Shame on everybody who's in charge of that. That's some BS. We should create some retro awards. Maybe we'll make that a show. Retro
Retros.
awards. Yeah. Because it's a lot of people that should have gotten an award back then,
Right.
but they were overlooked. I digress.
We can call them the Hennies.
Okay. I love
I'm
that.
joking. I'm just kidding, bro.
I love that.
But I do think there are some awards that should have been given out. Just some accolades that have been given. Like that, we could probably do some research on that and go back and look some things, some award worthy performances by actors, musicians, just give some people their just due. Something we might be able to dive into.
Facts. So man, I think I might know who's next, but you can let me know. We talk to ladies first.
Bruh. Listen. When it comes to this next person who I dubbed the eye opener, yo, I used to be in love with her. I ain't gonna hold you. It's something about her. It may have been an accent.
I would agree. Hey, bro, slightly off topic, but do you watch Top Boy?
I have not. About to start getting into watching it.
Please watch it. Binge it so we can talk about it. But I love that accent. Oh my goodness. And she's easy on the eyes. So.
All right, so easy on the eyes. So to all of those that don't know, the next person up is Moni Love. Like Moni in the middle. Where's she at? In the middle. Listen, to this day, I'll Google Moni Love. Like I'll be on Instagram following her, doing all that. I was just so in love with Moni Love. And to me, it just wasn't a pretty face. Like Moni had rhymes.
Yes.
And actually being able to watch documentaries on her like in the last year or so, I realized why she didn't hit as big as she should have, or at least the way I thought she should have. She didn't have the back, and plus she had a record label over in the UK that wouldn't release her from her deal. So even when she moved to America, they still held her rights in a direction that they wanted her to go in hip hop wise. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think she gets her just due. Because listen, I ain't gonna hold you, and this can be up for debate with anybody. I think her verse on Ladies First were the best. And that's
I
not just because
agree.
I like them more, but I just think like when I listen to Ladies First, if I listen to it more than once, I'll skip past Latifah part. Kind of like if I listen to Renegade, I'll skip over Jay-Z's parts and go straight to Eminem. You got to hear the best verses. You know what I'm saying? You got to hear the best verses. So yes, MC Light, one of the greatest of all time. She did go to high school for a little bit with MC Light. She was a part of the Native Tongues. You know what I mean? And they didn't have very many females in there back then. It was just her. I think it was just her and Latifah, right?
Right. Yeah.
Back with Native Tongues. So that lets you know you had to be on a certain level. And I think that lyrically, she could stand with anybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
She could stand with anybody. And I just do believe, you know, the reason that I follow her now and the reason that I'm so passionate about her, like I said, beautiful young lady, but I love her for her strength. Because a lot of people, if you don't know her story, she went through a very abusive relationship for a very long time with her child's father. And she overcame that. She moved now, and she went through some turmoil with some radio stations. She's been on like 6 or 7 different radio stations. You know, she had beef with a couple people. I think she had some beef with Chip Boy. Who was she arguing with on that one? It was one that got into an argument. Rick Ross. Was it Rick Ross? Somebody about hip hop being dead.
Oh,
This
wow.
iteration of hip hop being dead. I gotta find it. And
Hmm.
if I do, I'll send it to you. But yeah, her and the radio station had a beef. It was like the last day of her contract at that radio station. And I think it was in Philadelphia. Last day of her contract, they beefing about something. And they kind of took the dude side. She was like, cool, this is my last day anyway. I'm not renewing my contract. Moved down to Atlanta. So yeah, Moni Love, one of my all-time favorites.
Shout out to Moni Love, man. And speaking of which, is hip hop dead? Y'all stay tuned because we gonna talk about it. Good segue. I love that. But yeah, Moni Love, man, hands down. I feel like that one verse on Ladies First is top 10 worthy. Male or females. And y'all think we tripping? Y'all Google it. Listen to that. Listen to that verse and listen to whatever's out there now.
Right.
Then listen back to that verse. And y'all let us know. Leave a comment.
Right. All right. So the string line is next up. We got Yo Yo, Ice Cube's protege. I nicknamed her the protege. You know, she did her thing. She hung with Ice Cube lyrically. I just don't know what happened with Yo Yo. You know, she tried to do a little dabbling in acting and certain other things. You know, I just think she was a beacon of light in the dark. And I think she was really for, and just like Queen Latifah and some of the others, really for women empowerment. Like, I think to me, she was one of the first ones not to do it, but to stand in front of the camera and say, listen, I don't give a damn about record sales. I don't give a damn about popularity. You are going to respect us as women. So I love Yo-Yo for that fact that she put her priorities over top of her career.
Yeah. And I feel you with that because integrity is everything. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, what do you want to be known for? You know what I mean? And she exemplifies that, man. Shout out to Yo-Yo. Man, I think you told me this one time, bro, that Ice Cube had this one song where he wanted to call her a stitch. You know. And she was like, nah, you need to change that. Now, at the time, Ice Cube was on fire. He could have easily been like, you know, kick rocks. And she stood her ground. How dope is that? How real is that? Integrity is everything.
All right.
You know what I mean?
That's what happens when you get respect in wherever you at or whatever you're doing. And I'm sure he respected her because listen, from what I've heard, she didn't back down from anybody.
Right.
In the music industry, the record industry, that genre, that wasn't going to define who she was as a person. If I make it, cool. If not, I'm gonna find another way. But during this process, you're going to respect me as a woman, as a black woman at that. And I think she broke down a lot of barriers that a lot of other women would have said, you know what, we selling gold albums, this life is kind of nice, I'm gonna prioritize this over me and mine, so to speak.
Right, right. Yeah, no doubt. So where we at? Oh, I'm excited about these two, man. I truly am.
So all right, so I think we are down to the last four. We're down to the last four, and the next two I'm gonna put them in as a couple. Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, dub them the black feminists. Speaking of, I guess I don't even know how this segued into each other, but speaking of women empowerment, it's no respect. We have Little Kim and Foxy Brown. Now, just like with MC Light and Moni Love, Little Kim and Foxy Brown went to the same high school. They were classmates at the same high school. Who'd have thunk it? I think that they are pioneers in the hip hop game as far as women are concerned, because they flipped the script. They did the 180. They did what men do. Instead of them sitting there being objectified, they objectified themselves. They took that negative and spun it and made it a positive. Oh, you gonna call me a B? I'm gonna call myself a B. You gonna say I'm a hoe? I'm gonna say I'm a hoe, and I'm gonna show it to you. So to me, I just think that they took control of their femininity. They took control of their aspects as women. They didn't give a damn what, who, or how people thought of them. Not to mention they could spit.
Absolutely.
So you kind of have that dynamic of, oh, they may be a little bit too raunchy, but in the world of hip hop, they spitters. Now the debate can be said: does Lil Kim write her own rhymes? She says she did, but we heard some tapes where Biggie was rhyming it, writing it, and telling her how to say it. That's neither here nor there, because people today love Drake, and everybody knows Drake can't write a lick.
Oh Lord, I'm loving this topic, and I'm glad you brought that up, because we just talked about Hove, the thought of thievery, and let me think. Okay, so Little Kim, Biggie, Foxy. Oh yeah, I think Hove wrote Foxy's music.
Is that why she didn't blow?
Here you go, man. Here you go.
Is that why she poof disappeared? Houdini style.
Lord, man. But they say Hove take other people's rhymes. But what about all the stuff he penned himself?
This is about the women, sir. Why are we talking about Robin Hood? Why are we talking about rapping Robin Hood?
Man, shout out to Hove, man. But back to Foxy and Little Kim. They was both a part of two iconic groups. You had, Foxy with The Firm.
That was iconic?
That was an iconic group.
Was it?
And we know who Kim was with. I mean, we don't have...
No, we're not gonna do that. Wait a minute. I'm older now, and my memory slips from here and there in time to time. But I need you to let me know when The Firm became iconic. When did this happen? Because I missed that.
Well, they had the most iconic rapper out to this very day. He was the leader of that group.
Yes, he was the leader. So he led them to failure.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Is that what you're saying? Nas led that group to failure. You had Dre making your beats. You had Dre Productions. Let that sink in. You talk about he's one of the greatest rappers of all time, and you have arguably the greatest producer of all time. If it wasn't for AZ, that group wouldn't have did nothing.
Oh Lord, I just felt like at the time the world had to catch up,
but
they didn't catch up.
I digress. We're not here to talk about that.
Okay, yeah, let's move on, because lately you've been having me on the ropes.
That's right, I'm sorry, you done got us off the rails, bro. We was up here sitting talking about the ladies. But listen, so as far as as far as the way that Little Kim and Foxy Brown got treated, regardless how you felt about them, to me, I think it was a little bit unfair. Now, at that time, I may have been a little more on the conservative side. You know, my mind may have been a little bit more close to it. I didn't mind it. I may not have thought it was appropriate sometimes, but if you think about it and you look back at Madonna, Madonna did all of these things before they did, and it was widely accepted globally. But of course, you have two little brown girls out here doing it, and it's like, oh my God, look at them. What are they doing? I just think that they knew what direction they wanted their careers to head in, and they took hold of it, and they used their bodies to help accentuate what they wanted to accomplish, because they could rap. Because like I said, they both could rap.
Facts. And let's keep it 100. They're still using that blueprint today. I'm not going to start naming names, but they birthed a lot of these MCs out here who's doing the same exact formula.
So could this be the downfall of hip hop when they came? Because if these ladies nowadays are replicating this, and not to say that some of these ladies today can't rap, because let's be real, a lot of these ladies today can't rap. They got to show their bodies, but that's the trend nowadays. Show your bodies, hot beat, talk about some nasty stuff, and keep it pushing.
Or maybe we'll expound on this on a Hip Hop is Dead episode. Stay tuned.
Maybe. All right, moving on to the next one. I'm gonna leave this one for you. I don't want to take up too much time on it, but listen, one of the greatest entertainers, one of the greatest lyricists, one of the greatest rappers of all time. I dub her the game changer, the true game changer, and of course, your girl Lauryn Hill. So I'm gonna let you speak about her.
I absolutely love Lauryn Hill, and y'all know a couple months back, we got into a little spat, Hendo and I got so angry about that spat. I literally played clips of her. I want to say for 2 weeks straight, at least a week. But man, Lauryn Hill, one of the best that ever did it. To me, if you love Drake, you gotta love Lauryn Hill because Drake took her formula. Drake, you know, your other favorite MC.
Oh, he took the formula minus writing your own material. Gotcha.
Lord, here you go, man. Oh man, but here you.
Yes, B. We talk about the part time, but we talk about the I'm gonna show up to a concert if I feel like it.
Yeah. Well, she was going through a lot of things, and mental health, man, is serious. You know what I mean? Which we touched on that. Check out our previous episodes. But Lauryn Hill, man, her voice, golden. The bars, the delivery, absolutely impeccable, man. I feel like, and I said this when we did the top 10 list, she was in my top 10. She's top 5. And I know I'm getting all kinds of shots fired for that. But nobody could fool with her lyrically, man. She's one of the best that ever did it.
That's right. That's right, B. So is punctuality.
Oh Lord. Yeah, but man, whatever female held the group together.
Foxy Brown.
Man, I digress, man. That's not even a rebuttal. That's not even a rebuttal, man.
First of all, let me say this. I love Lauryn Hill. I love her voice. I love her flow. I love everything about her. Lauryn Hill did not hold a group together. Them making money held the group together off of her talents.
How about that?
That's what held the group together. Now, also in retrospect, you could say Lauryn Hill is what broke the group apart off the strength of Wyclef's ego. You know, he was a Grammy award-winning producer, but the whole narrative after the score was Lauryn Hill. Now, for me personally, I just know some people in their egos, when things start getting out of hand a little bit, you know, it's like it's kind of like, I don't want to say it like that. Just with most groups, and we've seen this. It doesn't make a difference. Rap, R&B, country, rock and roll. We've seen it. When there's one individual that gets a little more hype than everybody above the rest, it causes contention and jealousy throughout the group, and they always split up. And I just think that Wyclef's ego, even though he was making money and winning awards, just the fact that he just was always hearing about Lauryn Hill night in and night out, I think that's what broke the group up. Because, Prowse is like, yo, I'm making money and I ain't got to do nothing. So I'm good with whatever happens.
About that. And I agree, man. It's a sad state of affairs, man. It's truly a sad state of affairs. But yes, I absolutely love Lauryn Hill, and her penmanship is impeccable. Cause yeah, you could write a 16, but to write a song, man, that's something different.
Right.
You gotta ride the melody and be melodic in a whole nother way. And who could do it better than Lauren? Shout outs to Lauren. We love you, Lauren. So who we got?
All right, the last up in the evolution of the women of hip hop through our eyes is who I dubbed the entertainer, Missy Misdemeanor Elliott. Now, I know we just spoke about Lauryn Hill and her contributions to hip hop. I just think more on the production side is where Missy Elliott separated herself. She was just as talented as a singer, just as talented as, I guess, a rhyme writer, I guess. But she made more like pop rap. She made more fun hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But I will say Missy's videos are next level.
Yes, they are.
I think she changed the game as to where videos were going. Now, I know to an extent Busta did it 1st, but I think Missy took it to another level. And I just think like her production side, like she brought us a lot of people. She brought a lot of people into the game now. The relationship aspect of them, I don't know. But I just think that I would be remiss if I didn't mention Missy Elliott in this line of succession as far as the way that women went in the evolution of hip hop. I think she played her part. I think she's still out there doing her thing because her and Timberland behind the scenes working on some things. But I think last but not least, I needed to mention Missy Elliott. Even though we could have ended with Lauryn Hill, it would have still been dope. But I think Missy Elliott may have been, and correct me if I'm wrong, she may have been the end of where we're taking her story. You know what I'm saying? I think after that started to come, you still had a few rappers here and there that were dope and did their thing. But I think after that, that's when we started getting to this now hip hop. The version that we like, yo, I don't even need to listen to the radio because I ain't trying to hear this crap.
Yeah, I feel like innovation wise, she took hip hop to a whole nother plateau. Hey, and I keep bringing up Hove because I love Hove, man. She was so hot, man. Hove was like, yo, I gotta get on some stuff.
This is about the ladies, man. you keep bringing up these dudes. It's about the ladies.
It's about the ladies. But man, Missy Elliott, next level. And we gotta continue to evolve. And I feel like she put the bar so high. You know what I mean? Such a visionary. And I think she took us in places, or took hip hop, I should say, in places that a lot of people can't reach. You know what I mean? I think what's that?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'll let you finish. And then because you said she took hip hop to levels. She took hip hop to such a level, she made Bleak sound good on the track. Is that your chick? She made Bleak sound like a real rapper.
Lord. Yeah, man. Shout out in the visuals. You know, we grew up in a time with hip hop, man, where they considered it dope being on the block. You know what I mean? Wearing whatever's fresh at the time, doing your thing like that. Be killing me right now. But Missy Elliott, she took it to a whole nother level. She entertainment. You know, I'm not going to hold you. I didn't buy Missy Elliott's projects, but I was thoroughly entertained every time I seen the video. Every time she did an award show. I appreciate her contributions to the game. And I think she's phenomenal, man. And I'm hoping it's some young girls out there right now that's looking at old footage of Missy and saying, all right, she did that, but I'm going to take it to the next stratosphere. And I believe that's going to happen.
How? I don't listen. I think Missy Elliott was the last of her kind because, excuse me, because back then in our world, the money was in production.
Mm-hmm.
The money was in writing and in production. So of course, being that they were trying to make a name for themselves, they wrote, produced, they did everything on the track. Now, not to say that I think the chick her
Mm-hmm.
and it's a couple of others, they write for people and they do their own lyrics. But nowadays, the way that there is so much money out here, outside of just the music realm, like you can go on in a lot of these platforms on the internet and make your money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to go through a record label. So now, if I can just sit here and pen a dope track,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Pen a hot 16, or just pen a catchy hook. Because
Right.
what I'm hearing now is just pen a catchy hook. And I
Mm-hmm.
can get so many views on this, or so many listens on this, or so many plays over here, and I can become a multi-millionaire off of that. Why do I need to go through all the trouble of making a beat? Why do I need to
Mm-hmm.
go into trouble of being in the studio producing and doing all this other stuff? I can just make hooks and jingles
Hmm.
and make that same money. So I don't know if there's ever going to be another Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott type that's going to do everything. Not saying that they're not going to be as talented, but I just don't know if there's going to be another with that work ethic to be like, you know what? I want my hand in everything. Because
Hmm.
there's no need. It's the money that they're making nowadays is no need. The self promotion, just everything else.
Hmm. And you know why you were saying that? I was thinking about the brilliant videos she once used to do, and nowadays, I think the world's attention span is so short.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think that they would appreciate someone that would take that time and that energy and creating a video like that. You know what I mean? If it's
Right.
something, I feel like now with music, I think I forgot who said this, but it was a rapper who said this. But I want to say, what was it? 80 characters? Something ridiculously small with characters. I think he said like 80 characters in a song is what you need nowadays to make a hit. That's including a hook. How
I
sad
mean,
is that? Has society attention span went that short? So I guess you're right. Unfortunately so. I mean, you know, the world we live in is just different, man. I want to say this, and I know you feel the same way. I appreciate seeing all of that and experiencing that real time.
hmm oh yeah, listen. So I was listening to something the other day, or reading something on the internet, and they were talking about the different generations.
Mhm.
And the one guy was like, "Listen, I am so glad that I'm in a generation that has the best of both worlds. They got that Jay-Z or Kelly vibe going." Because I grew up with a time where I still learned morals, values, where my family and I sat down at 5, 6 p.m. and we ate dinner together.
Mhm.
Like the world was a different place. But I'm also old enough or young enough that I learned to grow with the internet. Because you
Mhm.
got to remember, we were here before the internet and wireless TV and all this other stuff. We grew with these things. So he was like, yo, I'm just so glad that I got to see both sides of it. So for
Mhm.
me, growing up with hip hop, it has truly been a blessing because I've seen the evolution firsthand. Like I don't have to go to a California college and have my professor explain to me what hip hop is. No shots
Mhm.
at first, but I was there. I lived through it. You know what I'm
Fact.
saying? So when I speak about it, I speak about the knowledge that I've gained from my perspective, not
Mhm.
from the research that I've done on the internet, like clicking like, oh, that looks cool. Oh, they
Mhm.
did this, they did that. No, I was alive and I lived through that portion of it. So I'm just truly grateful I was born when I was born.
Mhm.
That was for that was for
Kevin Hart.
no, that was for when I was messing with first because that dude called him Google Yo. At
Oh
first was
yeah,
first
yeah,
at first was heated for like a month straight.
yeah, man. Shout out to Ferris, our honorary member. Well, yo, any parting words, my good brother?
Parting words once again. Shout out to all the female rappers, the female entrepreneurs, the female pioneers of the game, and always remember this could have been y'all goat right here. This could have been
Mm,
the greatest to ever do it, hands down, bar none. Roxanne Shante, nobody could beat her. I would have loved, rest in peace. I would have loved to see Biggie and Roxanne Shante go at each other in the freestyle. But on a sadder note, I do. Yeah, his first is still heated about that. On a sadder note, speaking of Missy Elliott, they just brought something to me. On a sad note for me, you know, Missy Elliott, like I said, she brought in a lot of talent, or she worked with, produced, or helped build up a lot of talent. And one of the groups that she helped build up was 702. And I just want to say, rest in peace to Irish. She just passed away Saturday. Her twin sister passed away and was a part of the group like maybe 25 years ago, 20 years ago or something. She passed away early, and I don't know if they suffer from the same condition. And she just finally succumbed to it. But I just want to say rest in peace to her. Shout out to her. Shout out to Missy for actually helping build them up, because they were a family group, and she helped kind of bring them to the forefront. So rest in peace, Irish.
Rest in peace, sis. Man, it's hard to back that up. This the second week in a row, man. You got me quiet over here, man. So I want to say this, man. On a lighter note, it's football season. Shout out to our Ravens, man. Shout out to LBHT. I'm wearing their merch, quality shirts. Yeah.
Dopest shirt out there.
Oh, no doubt, hands down. So if y'all want to know where to get this shirt, below, MisterrGalloway.net. Click on that. Click on my man Hendo. You click on Hendo. You get the group. You get the crew. You get the merch.
Or you can just go to lbhtshow.com. Sign up to the newsletter. You can also buy merch from off of their site. You can find all of our stuff there. Like, we are all intertwined. We are a group. We like the Wu-Tang. We have different sectors, different sections, but when we come together strong. So, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you go support the people, support the merch. Listen, Mr. Galloway, he doesn't speak about it a lot, but Mr. Galloway does have a Patreon. Patreon.com/Mr. Galloway. Sign up for some perks. Like, we trying to get some stuff going. We trying to get together a freestyle, maybe a freestyle Friday, maybe just with some patrons. You know, you come in, we can do some freestyle battles. You know what I'm saying? If Dame is willing, you know what I'm saying? We can get some beats going and just some stuff just strictly for the patronage. You know? But just to let y'all know, like, we got a lot of stuff going on. We got a lot of stuff coming. You know what I'm saying? Summer's over. We about to come into the next season. We about to hit that 1 year anniversary coming up. So some changes are in the works, and we about to do some things.
Yeah, y'all.
Appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Yolanda B. We appreciate you.
1 second, sir. 1 second. Thank you, Yolanda B. Appreciate you for that. 1 second, but appreciate you, Dre. So Dre's just the only person up on the screen? I'm just saying. Appreciate you. Listen, message received. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Salute, Matt. Salute, my guy. So, y'all, until next time. Until next time.
Until next time, what?
We're out.
Welcome